I think the judges universally recognize the need for cooperation. I think when we started the program with the snare, I don't think any group of us have ever had a more impactful program where you actually set up a homicide camp and went through the exercise of actually having a tiger, in this case Rod, dressed in the tiger's uniform, but a startling display of the viciousness and just the poaching that takes place in these remote areas.
It was so nice to be able to see sort of members of the judiciary who were watching that and the impact that has had upon them, and they've come and I think spoken to both of us since that point and saying we are going to treat these cases completely differently. We had no idea this was happening.
Hi, my name is Karen Kenny, and I have the honor and privilege of representing my country and also the U.S. Department of Justice in my role as resident legal advisor in Malaysia. And I have to say that I have spent many years in the courtrooms in New York City, courtrooms in America, and now this is my courtroom. And I find that the ability to have monkeys falling out of trees, we're able to come together, Malaysians and Americans, to sit down at the same table, whether we're prosecutors, judges, or law enforcement, and we're committed to the same goal. And that is strengthening our justice sector and ensuring cooperation bilaterally, and then just seeking justice.
Well, I have been involved with the environment for some time since I took over as the Chief Justice of Malaysia. When Karen came along and talked to me about cooperation with the DOJ and the Malaysian judiciary, then we come up with the idea of a program, joint program, Malaysia judiciary and DOJ. There was a demonstration by, I think, Judge Carter. How do you get to the real players instead of just going for the poachers? Then it will be effective. The prosecution rate has gone up, and also the fine also has gone up, and also the penalty imposed by the court has gone up as well. This exchange of experiences, I think, is good for both judiciaries. You can learn from America, and likewise, I think America also can learn something from us.
The third advantage that you absolutely have is you're carrying a recording device with you that nobody had 15 years ago.
My view is that magic has occurred, and I personally am very appreciative to the United States government, Department of Justice, and the OPDAT group for being so far-sighted as to put these programs together. The benefit has been one of extraordinary cooperation. I analyze it and look at it as links of a chain that have grown together into a very strong chain now, and the mutual cooperation between the United States and Malaysia, and through Malaysia, through other regional parts of the world. It's one of the few programs that's brought together investigators, the police, prosecutors, and judges. And this has been a rather extraordinary opportunity for these different entities to come together and to come up with some solutions that are practical and can work. The cooperative effort is absolutely our only answer and the eventual solution to stopping organized criminal activity. In these workshops, these different, diverse entities coming together to actually discuss things like reform.
With regards to OPDAT, US Department of Justice, and the US Embassy, certainly here in Malaysia, where we've focused our work and time and attention with them, we would not have had anywhere near the impact that we've now had if it wasn't for the assistance that we'd received, and the close coordination and the ability to bring in real-time prosecutors to be able to assist with the work that we're doing is just helping the program tremendously. We've had a number of cases now being prosecuted through courts. We've used the snare witnesses that have been trained. We've been able to have better coordination with the other agencies, the AGC, the ability to bring in people like the judges, which we would never ever get access to otherwise, has just opened up this forum for magnificent discussions, and we have seen progress made so quickly that would have taken us months or years trying to do it on our own. And then to be able to develop an urban concept of homicide camps into a rural environment, and especially now for conservation, to be able to replay a tiger being snared, being killed, being slaughtered, and then for the prosecutors, the judges, the investigating officers and the arresting officers to be able to see that is so powerful. That's something that they would never ever be able to see if it wasn't for this course. We have had a fantastic time working very closely with OPDAT and US DOJ. The ability now to be able to replicate this program in other countries would go so far. What we've been able to achieve here, you cannot underestimate the power of that. You're looking at poaching groups of up to 20 people. Rangers have been attacked in the past. It can quite easily happen. So you imagine the pressure now on these guys to maintain these two, to interview, to treat this as a crime scene, and to ensure your all-round security as well.
On behalf of the Department of Wildlife and National Parks, and as well as the Government of Malaysia, we are really grateful that we've been working very closely with the DOJ, OPDAT, and with several kind of capacity building as well as trainings. And we believe that wildlife crime is a big issue, and hopefully with working closely with the DOJ and OPDAT, and we hope that we can fight the wildlife trafficking as well as poaching issues in the country. All parties have been sharing experiences so that we can improve in terms of our prosecution process as well as investigation process.
And we will reach the main road at 6 a.m. Then we will start count at 6 a.m.
So 5 hours of travel.
Yes, for the nearest access road to the nearest police station.
This is the first time that I had the opportunity to attend the program and work together with OPDAT and the Department of Justice of the United States, and I find it very interesting, very eye-opening, very beneficial to me in my job professionally. Okay, this dialogue has given me the opportunity to look at jurisdiction outside the shores of Malaysia and compare notes. There are some things that are similar that can benefit me as a prosecutor from the experience and the knowledge of my US counterpart. The offenders are going over cross borders, no longer localized to one place or one locality. It becomes very important for us to actually work together, compare notes, share experience, and learn from each other so that we can get together and find ways how to address the problems that is threatening not just one nation but humanity as a whole.
So I'm in a very unique position where I'm a Malaysian who works with the US government, and I think the best value of the US Department of Justice OPDAT program is having prosecutors speaking to prosecutors. So here you have a situations where training is conducted by an individual and individuals that we bring in who actually has done the cases, and they speak to our Malaysian counterparts, knowing where they've come from, knowing the challenges, knowing the difficulties, and this in turn creates a fantastic dialogue, and it comes to great solutions, not only for the Malaysians, as oftentimes I've seen that the Americans too, they learn a lot from us. And this exchange of ideas without any motive other than betterment of criminal justice and getting to a better level for prosecution, investigation, I think is a fantastic program.
Yeah, and it's encouraging to see that we're already starting to see some changes and some impact from the previous workshops that we've done with the improved snare prosecution, for instance, whereas before there were none.
No, this is a very good result for us here. We've caught this poacher.
I think that's the thing I'm taking away from this program is the need for the complete cooperation, interagency amongst all of us, and a better understanding of the judiciary about how valuable these animals are, and we can't allow them to become extinct.
Exactly. We can't do this on our own. It's all about the cooperation between all of these agencies coming together. It will make us so much stronger.
Yeah.